Wild weather coming out of the northern tier. We are on a Fox weather alert this morning, a double helping of winter weather with truly disastrous timing when you consider the travel coupled with Thanksgiving. Not just in these final hours before the holiday, but already high confidence for an even bigger event that'll bring the biggest snowfall totals of the season to portions of the Rockies and then again into the Midwest.
We got a lot of servings. They're going to be dished out over the next week, right? And they're not talking just the food.
I see what you did there.
You add the wind, and it's a full-on blizzard for a few states this morning. It's been nearly a blizzard in the upper Midwest, like in states of Wisconsin, the Dakotas, the UP of Michigan. And that has led to some dangerous travel for people heading out today.
Drivers in Downer, Minnesota met with blinding snow while driving on I-94. State troopers, in fact, saying they saw a number of crashes as well as just wipeouts, slide-offs, while people were trying to get around yesterday. Look at the tractor trailer, that jackknife just behind that one. But millions are going to be facing even some of these same conditions as they try to get out today. But wild stuff coming out of Minnesota. Right there, the jackknife tractor trailer and another one off into the ditch on the side of the road.
This first storm, my goodness, it is delivering a cold blast that we haven't seen, well, since the beginning of the month. But we'll have more on this current evolving threat in just a couple of minutes. First, there's growing confidence for a significant snowstorm developing shortly after Thanksgiving for millions through the high plains, the Midwest, and the Great Lakes. It could begin as early as Friday. And in the middle of this snow threat is Chicago. That's where we're looking live at this morning at O'Hare International. We'll take a look at the numbers, but if the current forecast holds, this could be one of the snowiest two-day periods for the month of November in the city's history. Records date back to 1884. It's a significant system, and it's not just Chicago facing the growing risk. We've got around 40 states that might get blasted by this thing. We'll keep checking in on the forecast, as you should too, because from a travel perspective, things do change, and there certainly will be an element to this forecast. Who sees the most snow? Who's going to see more rain as opposed to snow? Who might get in on a little bit of this icing potential? We'll see. It does look to mainly be a rain or snow event, but you can't discount a little bit of a mix. That often happens with these systems that dig out of the Rockies and then move into the plains. We're looking at who's going to be impacted or at least grazed by this, and the majority of the states in the south, yeah, it's all rain. But to the north, it's snow and it's wind. That's the other component, which if you're waking up this morning in the plains in the Midwest, I know you're feeling that wind. It's a brisk one out of the north, and it's been blustery. It's cold. It feels much different than it felt just yesterday, and that's just going to be the beginning, Marissa. We've got this area of high pressure that's going to be diving in from Canada. It's always unique to watch because if the cold air is not present, we don't get the snow. But if the cold air is present and there's a system that we have, then snow's very much on the table. And it looks as if the latter is what's going to be a possibility. And with this area of low pressure that's going to ultimately form, I know we're talking about snow this morning, but this is for after Thanksgiving, for when a lot of people will be traveling home, and it could hit some of the biggest cities in the Midwest.
Yeah, this could be very debilitating for travel, air travel, road travel, trying to get somewhere. And it does warrant, I think, trying to plan differently if you have that flexibility. When you look at the snow totals, there is this zone where we could likely see the heavier snow, but still fine-tuning where all of that sets up based on that area of low pressure and where exactly it tracks and how strong it gets. But the signal is there, the growing confidence, as you mentioned, for what could be a very big snow event with no melting behind it.
Yeah, that's the problem. We got the coldest air of the season that's going to be coming in after this event, which would be the first couple of days of December. So Monday and Tuesday, December 1st and 2nd, single digits, not out of the realm of possibility. And you see which cities are right in the thick of it. Southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois, Chicago, yet again, they've only been removed from a snow potential for a couple of weeks. But this is a much different system than what we dealt with at lake effect event over Lake Michigan from 2 weeks ago. This has all the makings of what could be, yes, enhanced by lakes, but what could be quite impactful and dangerous because we will have the winds to deal with. We look more broadly, and this is a much snowier landscape than what we're talking about, well, even currently.
Yeah.
We've not had a storm like this yet.
No, I mean, the origin's a little different, the track much different, and the spread very different. And the difference with this one, too, is that the low we're watching now and through the Great Lakes, it's moving into a warmer atmosphere and then eventually bringing the cold air down. To your point from earlier, the cold air will already be in place. So it's just a matter of getting the moisture and being able to capitalize on getting out some of those more extensive heavier snowfall rates?
I said it could begin as early as Friday because this system is going to be diving out. We have some energy diving out from the northern Rockies. This area of low pressure isn't really going to start strengthening, though, until Saturday morning. And depending on where you're at in this mix, we could have anything from rain to snow, Kansas City into St. Louis. It looks, though, the zone that will maintain snow the entire time will pick up the most. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're not going to have rain rob those snow totals. But the issue is, and what we've added to this map, which we don't always do, these black lines, those are isobars. That's an indication when they're tightly packed together, an indication of very strong winds, and that's what makes this so problematic. So if Saturday night's the plan to move on out, and I think that that's a valid point. Flexibility is going to be important here.
Yeah.
Sunday could be rough.
And these are big cities too. Chicago, Milwaukee.
Right.
You get into Detroit with some of that snow on the backside of it. And I was thinking too, I know our Nick Koser will be in Ann Arbor, Michigan, covering the Michigan-Ohio State football game. I think for the game, for the most part, it's a 1 p.m. game Eastern. People will be able to get there, enjoy the game, but then you start to look at the timing for leaving the game. So whatever it may be, it has to be a part of your planning.
Yeah.
We saw what happened in Minnesota yesterday with the blinding conditions, with the blizzard conditions.
Yep.
We could have more of that.
Could. And these totals, I mean, we don't have Ann Arbor, but, you know, east of Grand Rapids, we're looking at 8 to 12 inches. I think on the low end at the moment, we could see 4 or 5 inches. And whatever we see in addition to that would fall within the range that forecast models are spitting out this morning. And when we mentioned that Chicago could be in for one of their snowiest 2-day periods in November for the city's history, we got to go back to 2018. That's the most recent event. It was the 25th and the 26th. 8.5 inches or so fell at the airport. But we got to go back, way back to the, before the turn of the century.